And we are live. Welcome to the Bowling League on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Flying solo tonight. Usually start with a prayer, but we find ourselves on the mines of Kessel, so we're just going to have to make this entire thing a prayer. Look, it's just me and one other dude. We don't even have the 4 people on our team. Is this a sign of server decline? I think not. I think we're going to pick up some excellent situations before the whole thing is done and said and done. Jumping right into just open bloodshed and warfare here. No buffer. No welcome bagel before they throw you into the battlefield here in the acid mines of Kessel. Clearly, there's no EPA on this moon. There's a lot of, what would you call it? Industrial solvent being spilt out here onto the floor. Not exactly what you would call a healthy work environment. I wonder if we get, like, hazard pay for this. Probably not, I'm guessing. Boom! Did you see that person just turn into chucked meat in front of us? That was absolutely ridiculously awesome. Alright. We're just gonna... This is a great distance to just, you know, employ the local funereal services for these poor rebels. Whatever passes for a pauper's grave here on this battlefield. The name of this game is Battlefront, the very front of the battlefield. Probably a nod here to World War II. I'm going with some of this thinking. This thing came out so many years ago. It's still such a fun game, and there's really nothing that does what it does. It's not you. It's the speed, the awesomeness. It's really good. We got this Luke Skywalker out here. Come here, Luke Skywalker. Good. Alright. I bet that's got to feel bad for a guy who's just got that lightsaber in his force-like metal. That guy gets blown up by a piece of technology. He's like, maybe these technological beings are not all entirely wrong. While he's tapping into the fundamental energy of the universe, the force, the chi, the kundalini, the Holy Spirit, as it would be called in biblical times in the West. Nothing bad to say about the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. Good stuff. I've been watching Johnny Harris's back catalog, trying to... Oh, they're on B. That's why it's so quiet out here. Oh, boy. I've been watching Johnny Harris's back catalog, and I have been super impressed with his extremely recent stuff. He is an artist with his storytelling, and his method is just absolutely contagious. It's hard to deny how good it is. I've now my YouTube algorithm has suggested all kinds of content, including controversial content. Thinking about reactions to Johnny Harris when he gets facts wrong or things like this. It's kind of cool. I feel like, how many hours am I in? I'm probably 12 or 15 hours in. Probably more than that on watching Johnny Harris videos. It's very, very good. But I got to a point where I found a video he made like a year ago where he talked about leaving the Mormon church. And he talked about how he got his start traveling. Travel is such an important part of what he does. Well, they're getting A now. You guys have to do this one. Traveling is such an important part of what he does, and the way he got started with the travel was as a Mormon. He was on his Rumspringa. And by Rumspringa, I mean mission, because there is no Rumspringa in the Mormon church. Rumspringa is when the Amish, I think it's the Amish kids, they go crazy, and then they can come back into the fold at the end of their craziness. And a large percentage of them do just that. They come back into the fold because it's awesome to be in the warm embrace of a loving community. If you're a parent, you want a safe, well-oiled community for your situation, for your children, etc. This is human nature. something about it. You know your kids are going to get a better, it's going to be better for your children and stuff. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris was a Mormon, grew up a Mormon, went to Tijuana for several years doing his mission trip, which all the Mormon, it's their evangelical mode, and it's a year or two, I don't know all the details, but they plan for it, and then once they do it, they come back to their community, and that's usually when they settle down and have kids and stuff like that. Johnny Harris, was married in high school and had his first son when he and his wife were in high school. They were married in the church, Mormon style, and those beautiful Mormon churches. And anyway, then they had a kid. Anyway, it made Johnny Harris's story that much more impressive, that he was starting a family and following his passion with the YouTube channel and creating videos and such. It was just like, wow, that's a lot of that is way riskier than just working at a gas station if you have to work, you know. Anyway, that's really nice. It's nice it's working out for him. His wife had her own YouTube channel, and then she stopped having her YouTube channel like a year ago. She said like goodbye on YouTube and stuff. And then he talks a little bit about it, how she doesn't make stuff anymore, but she's the main business hand with Johnny Harris's new structure, which apparently is complicated isn't the word. He's growing it a lot. He's hired a bunch of new people, and his storytelling capabilities working with so many other artists in concert definitely improved. It's really amazing to watch. If you watch the progression, I'm watching it. I'm Benjamin Buttonsing it. I'm going in opposite direction, but so as we go, his technique becomes less refined. It's an interesting way to experience someone's art, but amazing. The storytelling, utterly amazing, and I'm got some little minor criticisms, but it's I can hold all of those for the moment. I'll share one little one. I was looking for flat Earth video, and I was like, oh, Johnny Harris has got a flat Earth video, and I was thinking about the science behind it and like what sorts of science experiments you could do in your backyard to like prove that the Earth was round. And the ancient Greeks did it with stakes in the ground, and I knew that from somewhere, from high school. Somebody laid that knowledge on me. It's nice of them. And what they did, okay, so high noon, somewhere in Greece, this philosopher puts a stick in the ground, and then he knows the exact distance in stadia between that and the other place he puts the stick in the ground. And he, summer solstice when the sun was directly overhead, something like that, astronomically aligned. There's no shadow on the one stick because it's and then there's a shadow on the other. And then based on the angle between that, you can make a triangle, and you can calculate that. And it's like a very rough way to figure out the how that's going. Well, even with two people, we ended up holding this shit. Hello, universe. Very nice to see you. Got a little new in-between music for you here. Let's kick this off, and then we'll talk more about Johnny Harris when we come back. Woo, baby! Alright, we find ourselves on Tatooine. That was recorded in the new studio setup. The studio has been an ever-evolving thing, but that's the newest iteration of it. You can kind of see it a little bit at the beginning and the end of the video there. And what I was doing last weekend was I was made that song. And that was made. All of those were played live. I just played a track and recorded it, and just like the old 4-track recorders, I just listened to it again and played something over it, and just kept doing that. It's kind of nice to be able to. You end up layering like that, and then you end up looping it. And then you can. What's nice is you can perform it a whole bunch of times in a row, and then you can take your best version of it. And then, but that was no editing. That was all just like looped live. So that is the goal. The goal is to be able to make awesome music of sufficient length live and be able to stream it, and get some dance music going, get some, maybe a little karaoke going. There's a lot of ways you can go with it. But that is what the other piece I was working on was a project, the visual part of that. That was kind of a rough cut. There was no editing there. That was all being mixed live, based on some presets that I programmed into OBS. And what it does is I have little 1 minute, sometimes 40 seconds, sometimes 10 seconds little loops, and they can play continuously. And you can basically fade between those. And so what you have in front of you is like a little it's a little flight deck. And you can kind of choose where the adventure goes. And this was inspired by one night when I was out dancing, wonderful dancing at this kind of art rave that Alex and Allison Gray threw in Kansas City, no, in Denver. In Denver in 2019, I think it was. They have their Angels and Demons ball. It's kind of like a yin and a yang thing. And they did it in Denver. It was so much fun. They had people painting live, which was remarkable to be around people just making their art. And they had many artists that were doing that. Very, very impressive stuff. And then they also had DJs who were playing great music, very danceable, very good, engaging music. It was awesome. And then they had that they themselves were there, and they were creating art for a lot of the evening. And then there was performance on the stage, like people had performance art that they did, or just dances that they did, or they even just had like costumes that they wore, and then they would just like dance to the DJ or whatever. But it was super fun. It was a crazy fun night. It was just great. I was on a bunch of edibles, and it was wonderful. I was having a very transcendent experience. But then the night got decidedly more interesting at a certain point, and it was really, really good dancing. Like just very. The crowd was in sync. There were lots of different little kind of areas and ghettos with people doing different kinds of things, but in general, people were having a great time. And I'm dancing, and it's great. People are on all kinds of different things, but it's hard to tell who's on what. It's mostly just happy and good. I go and I get a bottle of water, and I'm pretty old by standards in this scene. I'm an older person, so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna tip, kind of over tip here, because I'm sure, there's not a lot of love coming out of these young pockets, as far as I could tell. It seems like people were all sorts of classes of humans were hanging out in this place. If you go from independently wealthy to hard working to definitely saving a lot. I think you get the idea. So I tip the bartender, and this woman goes, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And she said, yeah, the tips have been really light. I'm like, yeah, no worries about it. She goes, it's really hard with all the smoke. And I was just like, I was like, yeah, it's kind of smoky out there. And I thought she was talking about weed. And I brought that up, and she said, "Oh, no, not the weed, the DMT." And so people had been people were smoking DMT vape pens at this party, and it was very subtle, but there was definitely like a collective DMT greenboxing going on at this during this experience, and that was very, I guess, a huge contributing factor, I would say, to just how, I guess, holy it felt. It just felt like a one-of-a-kind, unique, wonderful thing that was happening all around us. So anyway, in this milieu, I was thinking about dancing, and I was thinking about energy, and I was thinking about synchronization of the crowd. Because at different times, you could feel people becoming in synchronization with the music, and when they would get into synchronization with the music, there would be sort of a expansion of consciousness. If you get a bunch of people synced to rhythm, it's almost like a larger being is there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, not that there's anything non-organic about that or anything. It's just that it's like the medium of one's perception can be increased by relaxing. The price of entry is the death of the individual self or ego, but then you get to experience the group energy in a more unified way. And so it's a selfless thing. It's kind of like a love thing, I would say. And it's a letting go. It's a letting go of the small and embracing the larger. In this state, one feels larger than oneself, like a part of something exciting or unique. It's just the reason people get together and dance in the full moon and play music and make cool vibes together. This is a wonderful, wonderful kind of experience when Aveabla. I was doing my own full moon dances for a long time, and then I got off chart and I've stopped doing them for now. But with the new Ecstasy broadcast engine, it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be. It should be kind of trivial to be able to do unique music and mix at the same time. This is the goal. The goal is to be able to generate the ecstasy auditorially and then kinetically broadcast all of this. How are we contested here? What's going on? Somewhere there's a nerd around here. Maybe this guy. They threw us, by us I mean myself, off. There, let's see what's going on over here. Oh, these guys are going for the other one. That's probably what's happening here. All right, munchkins. Let's see what's shaking. Okay, so anywho, in this whole kaleidoscope of art and dancing and music and camaraderie and apparently some DMT hotboxing inside of this whole thing, I was seeing how you could have a group of dancers synchronized and be dancing with the music, but also dancing with the crowd. How many moves would you need to synchronize the crowd to a dancer or a set of dancers, and then so that it would be easier to be in sync? Because this synchronization thing that I'm talking about, it's available at smaller numbers of people when you have more investment of energy. When you're more committed and linked, and even maybe practiced is the word, with the people around you, you could come into sync with them and have that experience of being in something larger, like a performance. When you're in a play or something like that, when you're performing with other people, you all become a larger thing for the evening, a larger being. You're part of something larger. Very similar. But anyway, out of that, I designed these loops And there's a whole thing about the size of the loops and the amount of GPU processing power you have. With more GPU, you can do more good things. You can basically have a more sophisticated looping system. With a lower power GPU, you have to kind of decide what you want to have in memory. So anyway, that's the medium. Is basically this little board, you hit a button, starts playing a loop, and then you can hit another button and it'll fade over to it. You can do different kinds of transitions and stuff like that. So, coming up with better versions of this, better stock imagery, better stock video, that's something that I shoot live. It's super fun to do. I am lost here in these streets. It's just fun. It's just so much fun to be in the middle of so much color and energy and life. Anyway, that's the goal. The goal is to this is the Ecstasy Broadcast Engine 2.0. I built the first one during the pandemic and very took it down, basically. I wanted to improve it, but had to rebuild it. It's been difficult to get the new one going. Of course, no pandemic angst. That was a real fuel for a lot of people, myself included. Just was such a thing that everybody was going through. You could feel it. I just feel it everywhere. I remember there were times when I would go out to get groceries and I would be the only person on a highway system in Denver that usually was packed. It was truly like a end of the world apocalyptic kind of note. It was not lost on me. I was like, man, it really was the end of the world. It was just like one world ended, and it's like the new world hasn't rebooted yet, in a certain way. It's nice to see people coming together, having fun. I mentioned the dancing thing. That's for me. That's a great way. I went to the first rave outside at Red Rocks that you could go to without a mask in Colorado in 2021. I was like, let's fucking go. It was masky, and it was very locked down here. There was the riots in Denver got bad, and turns out that there were federal agents involved, federal sources of the FBI involved with making them more violent. And that was the problem, was all the things on fire and the violence associated with it. People, wanted to protest. That's the American way. Second Amendment, right to congregate, right to associate, right to kick a little ass in terms of being able to be. It was my pleasure to be a part of that Yoda murder right there. Let's get round 2 on that shit. I'm right with you, Darth Vader. Let's go. Beating the hell out of a Wookiee with a lightsaber. Yes, and yes. Princess Leia Organa getting shot a bunch. But not enough. So, anywho. Life goes on. As it does. It's gonna be nice to have a nice springtime here. See some flowers blooming. I'm gonna try to get the camera outside. I want to get some live sciencey kind of broadcasts going. Would be amazing and very toot sweet. Anywho, oh look, I'm underneath this thing. I can like hide from behind this thing. Dude, we got this one. Nice job, gentlemen. And ladies, whoever you are out there, fellow combatants in the Corps, let's go. That was a final invisible. It'll fall over there, and it'll go. We couldn't even see it. Perfect. Everybody, we're going to go back to an oldie and a goldie. Let's take a break. Here we go. find ourselves in Jabba's palace kicking the shit out of a bunch of feisty rebels here. Pretty much holding them on the first level. I was indisposed, and we were just jumping the heck in here. No time for the warp cores. Oh, there's Reach. What's up, Reach? How you doing, buddy? How's it going? Hi, how are you? Oh, that was a bad end. Good to see you, though. Good to see you, because Reach is a common player on this thing. At this time, watch, there's a bunch of people who like to play Ewoks. This guy, Nama P, they got Ukanami, they've got all Japanese names. I like to think that we're playing on a Japanese server sometimes with this. It's interesting. It's interesting, the connections. You know, this whole thing is so fragile. You know, these servers are only going to be here for a while. This game won't be playable. In the future, there will not be as many people interested. They'll be on to the new holodeck, hologram thing. This won't be, I mean, maybe they open source it. You know, that's what you can hope for. That Electronic Arts, if they ever didn't make it available, that they would publish the code or something, you know? And that way you can still keep playing it. This game is never going to go old. Like, the way it is now, it's magical. It's pretty much magical.
You are soldiers of the Empire facing an inferior enemy, and you will achieve victory. Prepare for new orders.
Prepare for new orders. We just got told that we will achieve victory. You know what would have been nice of our commander there, just from a scrum perspective? It said, hey, what's in your way? What's blocking you? And I'll tell you. Sir, I have not died yet, and I have not been reincarnated in my blacker and better self, my death trooper. I wish to put in a formal complaint, and maybe I can self-terminate or something like that. Here comes my first death. Is it enough? Is it enough points? It is enough points. So this is how the game is actually played. I'm gonna hang out here with the Darth Vader, who's dead, so that's not an option anymore. How about Darth Maul outside the mission area? Here we go. Let's go, nerd buckets. Look at you guys. So soft and pliable. Alright, we're just gonna... No reason not to put everyone down. Starting with Princess Leia Organa, who has got a weird sense of... Oh, she wanted to get that grenade up here. What's up, Princess Leia? Nice, nice. Was that a grenade? I did not even see an explosion. Oh no, they gave a girl a weak grenade? Dude, you know who's got the craziest grenade? Chewbacca. They could have made a statement with the... Oh, that's a great way to go. Great way to get rid of a princess. Alright, her hardware doesn't die though, which is a pain. I could have been unloading on this hardware the entire time. Nice with the situation there. Okay. So, I think I got you primed there with the DMT rave. That got you into some of the visuals that we were working on there, which is nice. I was working with 360 cameras intensely a couple years ago, and I found a subgenre of this, which was 360 audio recording and spatial audio. And so on that track that I opened up today with, that's a new one, and I put a three-dimensional rattling track on there. So it's a 3D audio. It's what's called a quadraphonic. It's 4 microphones and they have a left-right, so it's 8 spaces more or less. And you can rotate through these spaces, and when you do, what ends up happening is you simulate, or it just records front, back, left, right, and up and down. So it's kind of amazing. I need to. It's a lot of possibilities. A lot of possibilities for live stuff. I played maracas when I was younger. I got my first set of maracas when I was probably like 16, 17, something like that. Played maracas a lot when I was on the road as an 18-year-old, as a 20-year-old, 19-year-old. When I was traveling, having maracas was nice because you could make music wherever you were, and great way to unwind, great way to relax. When I got into nature, it was a nice way to just express into the great void, or the nature, or whatever you found yourself nearby. Where I was in Tucson, Arizona, and I was running around out in the mountains of Tucson, Arizona, being a crazy young crazy person. Super fun. Time limited though. Certain time moves on, man. Time moves on. To everything, turn, turn, turn. That reminds me, I was gonna try to figure out how to sing better. I have let my voice go, and it's flat as heck. And when I was doing a lot of chanting, I felt like I could make more cool sounds with my voice when I had a regular chanting practice. I have a silent chanting practice now, but maybe I need to get an active one, if for nothing else than to just use the 5th chakra to make all the neat swirls and flower-shaped heart patterns of crystalline love and geometric unfolding awesomeness that it's intended to, you know? I think it's an important part. I think it's an important ingredient. Ingredient. Don't be afraid of the T. Ingredient. It's our tea. No one's going to take these teas from us out here in these streets. Alright, we got various forms of revenge and murder unfolding before us here. What's nice is that it's almost... We've got a lot of downrange fire. This makes it extremely easy to keep the pressure on here. I'm just going to get a grenade out there, because why not? There's Reach. Hey, what's up, Reach? Good to see you. Nice. This is great. This is like this is just a public lobby, and these are like probably 4 strangers playing together. We're doing a great job. Wish I could tell them this. It's hard to communicate. You can communicate with the emotes, but you don't have an actual real deal like audio channel, or not a good one. In the first version of this, you did, but then there was a bunch of kids that were like, "Hey, I can say crazy things on this to adults and watch their reactions." And that must have been insanely fun, because they closed down the service almost immediately based on just harassment and stuff. They're like, "This is just lawsuits waiting to happen. Turn it off, dude. Like, just this game's gonna be cool without that." But that was the original intention on the original version 1 of this whole thing. I got 2 guys right here that are just at the edge of consciousness. There's no way they're not dying right now. Oh, because we're winning. That's what's going on. We'll pull it straight through without a break here. We're good. But anyway, the ability to visually mix and put it all with the music, cannot underscore how awesome it would be to be able to do that. Like for 45 minutes, you could do an ecstatic dance, full moon, go nuts. It's gonna happen. It's gonna freaking happen. Plus, with original music, what's so nice is you can broadcast it everywhere. The only place you can broadcast music that you're spinning is like Mixcloud and YouTube. YouTube will does the proper legal stuff and pays, and so does Mixcloud. So they can basically treat it like a radio station. So as long as you stay within the radio station guidelines and boundaries, in terms of like 3 songs in a row, 5 songs by any artist in a certain number of hours, an hour and a half or 3 hours, 3 hours maybe, and then yeah. But you know what's crazy about that, about the radio rules, is that if you just got an album from the 70s and like Creedence Clearwater Revival, you dropped it on and you started it on the first track, you know, top 20 greatest hits, and you just ran it through, you would be, once you hit the 4th song in a row, I think that then you'd be violating the law with the radio broadcast. So anyway, what's nuts about that is that there's multiple generations of music was made in a format called vinyl. And you can't actually just play a vinyl record legally in public. Like it doesn't fit into it. So it's like, that's broken. You know, there's listening to a record is really something. And you should be able to do that. You should just be able to listen. What's the harm here? We're enjoying this music. Like, it's like, no. You could pay the license or whatever. They should just have that. They should have the ability to do it, but it's restricted. So anyway, there's always the live private space You know, not or a private space online, I suppose, is another way to think about it. These are the ways that you can, you know, but the private piece, I guess, is the private piece. I bet that would work. A private VR space that was not being broadcast. It's just, I think that's how the law treats it, as your own living room when you're in VR. If you make like a club. Boy, it'd be interesting to see where the laws have gone in the last 2 years. I dropped out of it. I dropped out of VR. I dropped out of a bunch of stuff, and apparently it's gone crazy. I read somewhere that there was over 80,000 people that regularly VR raved online. I'm like, dude, I remember there was like a couple. It's fun though. Super fun. I almost have my rig back together. And when I have my rig back together, I'll be able to figure out how to start building rooms again on a new system. The old system I built rooms in went away. I bet I could rebuild them from memory. I could do that. I could rebuild some of the things I made in the Wave in Chat VR. That'd be a fun project. Just to like do it from memory. I don't think I have any recordings of it. What I did is Chat VR, or not Chat VR, the Wave was a really simple like Play-Doh system that you could make objects and you could put them on reels. You could put them on buttons more or less, and then you could DJ a whole universe. So you would DJ a universe while you would play music, and I had it all figured out, but I hadn't gone through the application process with this company. But anyway, then they stopped doing it. Then they shut down, and that's no bueno. But then yeah, they closed all of those down. So I noted that same community met back up in VR chat, and but the Wave was cool. I had a bunch of cathedrals. I took a bunch of 360 data from holy sites through Google Maps, and like Lourdes, France, and different the inside of different churches and such. And you could do a dance inside like a holy place. It was very fun. I had another one that was more it was a giant world. It was actually a tribute to Alex Gray, and it was I put one of his endless being, which is one of his ayahuasca-inspired visions. I put it on the corner of this three-dimensional map, so you'd go to the corner of the map and look over, and it would be stereoscopically separated, and it just made the stereoscopic separation. It was like awesome. Then I had another area I called the forest, and the forest was a makeout zone. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a lot of VR sex going down on the Wave. I ran into all kinds of it. It was kind of annoying. It was like, dude, get a room. Like, literally, you can generate a room. But I guess part of people's kink was having sex where other people could potentially find them or something like that. And so it was like, dude, this is crazy. But it was just reaffirmed the Wild West nature of it. Anyway, inside this forest part of my world, people could go in there, and there were so many polygons overlapping each other that you could find a little private space, polygon-wise, and yet people couldn't see you. And so if it was just you and one other person, you could wander off into there, and it's pretty easy to find a private place, and then you can do whatever you're going to do anyway, and that way no one would run into you. So it was kind of like creating a privacy screen for a VR activity I had no intention of ever participating in. But it was crazy how much of it there was out there, and it was very weird. But in any event, sure, there's protocols and such. I wonder how the norms have evolved over the last few years. I'll be learning that soon, unfortunately. Yes, it would be nice if you could select a G-rated internet, but that isn't real. That isn't real. Apparently Apple has a new VR headset coming out, and I've heard some mixed things, and I've heard some positive things. I've heard some people say it was like, well, let's see what it is. It'd be really cool to see what it is. More people in VR is awesome, and in the same way that Steam and you know, PCs are for gaming, like PCs are for gaming, for sure. Like no one can argue that. Apple products can do some things, especially web-based stuff. This is where the web has been very kind to Apple. You know, more things on the web means all you need is a browser. You can run a browser on a watch. So, you know, there's a lot of awesomeness in having software in a browser, but when you don't do that, and when you need more access to the hardware, like a PC can give you really powerful graphics and lots of varieties, a lot of hardware built on a PC. So anyway, that's why all the gaming happens on a PC, and that's why all the VR headsets are on PCs, is because of the more or less open nature of the situation. It's taken Apple many more years, and they didn't have any. Hopefully they just make a good product. It'd be awesome. But good Apple VR. VR is life changing. I remember when I went and fought the fires in California. It's what I did there. 2019, I was in California in VR. So I wasn't in California, I was in a VR headset. And we were out and we were walking around, and we were probably prisoners, honestly. That's what it sounds like to me. But some of us weren't prisoners. I am not a prisoner, for example. I'm a person just with a VR headset. I don't know if any prisoners were harmed in the making of this thing. It's possible. It's entirely possible. But in any event, we were out in the mountains, and things were on fire. And by things, I mean a lot of things. There were tons of fires, and we were chopping down trees, and we were making breaks, and then we were flying as a helicopter all over the place. So much fun. Dude, so much fun. What's so fun about it was that you were there, and it wasn't 100%, but it was like way more than 0. It's more like 40. And it was also the cool parts, because there wasn't any real danger. Like any of the things that camera did to take the lens where it was going, those things are dangerous. It was like a real super dangerous place, and also not helpful to have a lot of people there. And so you didn't have to have a lot of people. You could have one camera there, and then the whole world could be there. And that was magical. This was a, there's a company, begins with a W, not Wave, but the V, the W, forgetting it. Not Waze. In any event, there was a company somebody was trying to acquire them, and the Department of Justice blocked the merger, which was nice. And probably not for that company, but which could kill it, but I need to brush up on what was going on there. But they used to make all kinds of cinematic experiences. So you could go to Haiti and be with like Haitian dancers, and you could go to like Ebola outbreaks. They think that Ebola might have been a lab leak now, and I wonder if that's cool to say. I'm sure it isn't. But yeah, apparently they went back and they went over the files now that they're like, yeah, COVID's totally a lab leak. They're like, well, how many others of these have there been? And anyway, they're finding a bunch of them, and they're thinking Ebola might be one. I'm relying on Sagar Anjeti's reporting on breaking points on this one for a footnote. Lots of good facts were presented to myself in that. I felt like it was very good. Hey guys, you want to help Cap? No. Look at this, we're having problems over here with heroes. Angry heroes. An angry Luke Skywalker. Clearly that dude has fallen to the dark side at some point in his character arc. Oh no. Okay, well, let's take it again. Who cares? Let's go. People are saying they want B. Let's do B. I saw something on B. Let's go. Got my stimmy packs. 600 points of dangerous health here. Falling into the corner. Easy to fight from this point. Got rid of reach. That's a good human player. Get rid of all the Wookiees. That might be it. We might be up on it again. Nope. People to the left. People to the left. All right. No reason to die here. Okay. Get your shoulder against the wall. Somebody was an iron duck. What's up? Alright, there it seconds. We're taking. We should be taking soon. We got Ewoks out here with their witchcraft and their deadness. We are capping. Alright, let's defend this sucker. Love this Death Trooper. Such a good trooper. Such a good character. My favorite character in any game ever. This Death Trooper. So good. What's so great about this Death Trooper? Well, is it is super fast, repetitive, almost on automatic all the time gun. That's part of it. Is it is awesome grenade that just basically displaces and concusses people. Also does, I think it does a pulse of radar as well. I think. I have to pay close attention, but I think it's got something like here I got. I mean, it's good. You can in these kinds of quarters you can hold off a real assault. I mean, this is just me out here in the streets, holding off quite a few rebels, I might note. These woodchuck loving rebels out here have no idea how to take this from me. Time is of the essence. I'm hearing in my headset. The psycho headset. It is a pretty psychopathic headset. It tells you to do some weird things. It's like genocide! Just kidding. Oh, dear lord. Alright. Objective captured. We'll be moving on to the final objective, which is the 333 up on the clock. Nice place to stop here. Look at that magic 333 just floating over there in space. Not changing to 334. No, not yet. It's going to be 333. I was enamored with the numerology. Forgot to check my flank. Here we go. Hanging out with you, Darth Vader. Triple OG. OG meaning ocean grown, from the original cannabis cultivation practice of growing cannabis in the natural ocean air. Apparently good for the minerals. Nice for the spongy taste of this sweet, sweet cannabis. Got a punching match with Lando Calrissian. Probably should have stuck to guns. It was too much fun though. He was right there. He seemed confused that I would take this tactic. Okay, I'm gonna warp back in with that Darth Vader. He was right there. Okay, did he run? Oh, he ran on me. Maybe he was pissed. This guy's running. Okay, he's out in the middle of nowhere. But whatever, I can help him out. We gotta get that A eventually. Plenty of targets out here. Two Ewoks over there. That is craziness. Let's go get A, you guys. We got 2 minutes. Dear Lord. Come on. Okay. Just gonna need to work the edges of this one. Plenty of range here. Whoa. Hide behind this big rock here. Fine with me if they come to us. Taking advantage of that Wookiee's lack of cover. Here comes the bang. Alright. Nice. Someone up there. Definitely. Post contested, so just hiding up there. It's a very human move if that's what's going on. It's a very human move. Okay, human. Clean out. Okay, we're gonna clean these guys out first. They're like, how did they know we were coming? We did not know you were coming. We actually ran into your asses out here. Again, terrorists.
I will not accept defeat because you were too slow at attacking. Push harder.
You're right. Voice in my head says we've got to push harder. Ocean grown. That's where this whole thing came from. Ocean grown. Triple ocean grown. Walk to work day. Triple ocean grown. 45 sweet seconds remaining in this universe. Oh, and they're deep in our. They're deep. They got this. We're just gonna hassle them. We got to get on station in a very small amount of time. Okay, got 30 seconds though. This is enough time to work the edges.
Get to it.
Yep, we are trying. Helmet voice. It's like a bad dad voice. It's like a very disapproving father. 10, 9, 8, 7. Alright. We might be an OT here. We might be an OT. OT, OT, OT. We can do OT, you guys. Let's go. Come on. Oh no. Am I alive? What the fuck? No. That was a strange reincarnate. Strange reincarnate. Here comes the new tune. Let's do it. Woohoo! Warping back in from hyperspace, 20 easy seconds for a nice prayer. O Holy Mother, Father God, Master Jesus and Mother Mary, pour your blessings and your love now upon everyone who's a part of this stream, everyone who hears it or who digs our channel. May their lives be filled with your presence, with grace, with love, and with light. We love you. Fill our gaming here with peace and love and tranquility as we murder these poor innocent little things. We love you. In the name of the Creator, the Mediators, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Some people might say I fucked up that prayer. Some other people might say, no, that's amazing that you could be so free in your praying. I like the people in the second camp, myself. You're my peeps. I think you can get creative with a prayer, just like you can get creative with anything you say to anybody. It's not the form of the prayer, it's the heartfelt intention that God be a part of it and hear it. That's my personal philosophy of such things. Tekanite, V Krusty VV. What's up, V Krusty? V Krusty sounds like this person's got some creative spark with their naming conventions. This is not Unit 1278496B, as I have fought with in the past. But Dogfish Head 7 also seems to have a firm lock on whatever's happening over here. This guy seems like he needs help. What's up? We murdering rebels over here? Okay, let's start doing that. Start doing that thing. That rebel had a child, probably a wife, kids. Oh my god, what are we doing? What's the whole point of this whole thing? Can this possibly be useful or creative and fun? I don't know. Yet it is. Yet it is. Let's freaking go. maybe not the most strategically diverse stance here. So Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris leaves the Mormon Church 4 or 5 years ago after the birth of his son. And he tells a very warm and intimate story about it. But he also tells the story of the loss of the structure, and also the discovery of creativity. He was talking about how the flavor of Mormonism that he experienced, which is I would say very common, is authority at all costs. Like, authority is always right at all costs. And I was in rooms where the person in charge was making such a terrible choice, and it was very difficult to get anybody to join you in saying, isn't that a terrible idea? Because they were so anti-telling authority what was going on. And I thought that was a major... I was working with a lot of Mormons. I should have prefaced that. That's the context here. And that was one downside. The just blind... I was like, authority is great, but authority is also not omniscient. So we can tell authority when it's not rocking the Casbah, metaphorically speaking. And they were like, no, you can't. And it was like, I guess around here you can't, but just so you guys know, everyone else is doing that, and so I think it's an advantage to be able to do it in a respectful, structured way, for sure. But like in Scrum, you build that into a retrospective and a review where you look at the process of how you're doing all this stuff. Dude, we got Unami. Hey, Unami. Another one of our Japanese Ewoks who loves to drop fairy witchcraft on us. Week after week after week. Just kidding. Gotta be super consistent to be week after week. Anyway, the loss that Johnny Harris experienced from going from structure in a certain way, it was very, very beautiful. He did an excellent job of telling that story. And how it was still in process and open to a lot of vagaries, and I went through a similar thing in 2012 when my the religious and spiritual order that I was a part of dissolved. We were not expecting it to dissolve, and it dissolved. And everybody who was a part of it was quite... Yeah, I had to go through a period of time of readjusting and recalibration. There was different groups and such, and different efforts, I guess is the right way to say it. You guys, I'm just gonna stay here and see. I'm gonna handle this one. Maybe someone else gets the main door. Looking for my yellow dots here. All the TK units are just running to their next rally point. You can start shooting people.
The rebel assault is
right
now
up
directed
here.
at these
There they are.
positions. They must not fall.
Nice.
Hostile approaching. Check your map now.
Did a lot of damage to him, but was shot by another hero. Play it organic. Okay, who has eyes? I guess main entrance. This looks like side entrance. What's up, man? I can help. We can fall back to here for sure. We lost. Boy, they really got ensconced. All right, no big deal. They're probably coming on our left. I don't know who I'm talking to. Dude. Okay, here we go. Yep, they're on B. Reincarnate. Who's in field? We're really downrange here. What is this position? Is this like try to get shot in 360? What's going on here? Or A. Okay, fine. A is under attack. Worthy target. Good as any. Got Yoda here. This is this evil Yoda that almost died at our hand not too long ago. There he goes for real. God dang it. That was an overdue. That little guy caused a lot of havoc. Notice his health wasn't very high. Those heroes do not heal well. No, they do not. Dude, we gotta get under cover. We are in the middle of a giant field. There's gotta be a better place to be standing while we're shooting things. There we go. Little Unami, this like twin Ewok capping on A over here. Little Torque Cities. What's up, you nerd buckets? Oh my god, you guys are wily. Ewoks used to be my favorite thing in the world when I was about 10 years old. Ewoks were amazing. They were talking, intelligent teddy bears. And now I'm shooting them. I'm out here shooting them for a living. Shooting them for a paycheck. This will maybe go in my memoirs. The stand of Battlefield 217846B, also known as the meat grinder. This was a terrifying defense of this. I'm just gonna... 24 seconds is not enough time. I'm just gonna harass him. Yeah, I'm not falling back. I know I'm supposed to. I know the headset tells me. I don't always listen to the headset. Sometimes I'm an individual. Sometimes I play by my own rules. And right now that's a problem for you. You wished I listened to the headset. You wished I followed the rules. This is me not following your rules. Not following your rules, not following your rules, not following your rules. Defeated. Here we go. Alright, where are we? Who's got the front? Who's got the front of house? Oh, you guys are all the way back here? Dude. Alright. We can totally hold them off on these in these streets though. Go like this. Like this. They're in these really tight halls up here. I'm gonna help you out technique. Let's do it together. There we go. Okay. Remember Palpatine, he's going on a rampage. Dude, he's rampaging. Here I go. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh my goodness gracious! That was a lot of fire. I didn't even see that Ewok. A giant hairy. That was a Chewbacca. A Wookiee. The species is Wookiee. Walk to work day, huh, gentlemen? And ladies, who knows? Alright, you know, buckets. What we gotta do is we gotta get on station with these guys. I had to take a couple of Ewoks with me, down, etc. These guys are extremely poorly defended. Okay, we are at least capping. Not mentioning the 3 health I fell to there. It's a very low number health-wise. Do not like to be that low on health as a matter of course. But I have a regular unit's health restoration, which is nice. I'm not penalized. I don't take the hero health penalty. Lando Calrissian does not have the main feature that a hero has, which is can't be shot in the front when they're blocking. So it's an incredibly good skill to have. Those Ewoks were not able to take us. We are contesting. Contesting is as good as holding. Boy, taking my time with this one. Nerd bucket. God, that's a definite an AI. No human would take those hits and then keep coming like that. Ewoks down here. Alright, someone stays in the middle, everyone else goes and harvests from the side. And you're gonna stay in the middle, dude? You're gonna shoot? I'm gonna stay in the middle.
Defend the objective.
See if I can find something here. There's gotta be though. I'll just keep a tight swivel on the upstairs activities. You guys maximum space there too. Okay, gotta come in. No biggie. Suicide troops running in here. Shinobi.
Maintain the area.
These are all old hats. These guys love playing Ewoks. You know, we're having problems finding people on the dark side here. We were playing it like 2 characters once. We were waiting for players to join this side. Apparently that other side's very fun to play. Man, look at that sound, those Ewok sounds. You gonna go shoot? Okay, you stay there, I'll go shoot. Oh, we got a whole new crowd. Whole new reason for not moving at all. Alright, stay back there, dude. Clean them out. Little fucker.
The rebels have a Wookiee now.
Nice, caught him in a nice position here. Definitely AI maneuvers there. Luke Skywalker prowling around, no one to tell. Targets up high. Oh boy, alright. Alright, you guys. Anyway. Johnny Harris, big heart on that guy. Takes a lot of criticism, is extremely popular. Incredible work ethic. And making some cool art these days. And also teaching a lot of people how he does it, which is very cool. I find this to be an incredibly cool mix. I'm shooting Skywalker in the toes here. Taking our eye off the ball for sure. Gee, many Christmas. Boy, he's really got to thin these guys out. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Alright, you guys, you gotta get better at killing those guys down there. Holy shit, dude. Yep.
Hold off the rebels until our reinforcements arrive.
That grenade is powerful enough to just take someone from 100 to no health if they're close enough to the blast. Guy couldn't get out of the way. Okay, here we go. Here's the final fight. Showing a lot of discipline. That was very disciplined. We took a super advantage. They did not. They pushed us on both up and downstairs simultaneously. That was extremely good coordination or AI-ness of them. And what are we doing here? Killing these nerds. All right, 9 seconds. 7 seconds. We're going into OT. Okay, they're in OT. Alright, man. Stay strong. Stay strong. Technique. Awesome name, man. Let's go. Okay. What is happening here? Alright. We gotta be conscious about who's going down and who's not. You guys going down and hunting? We gotta hunt them all off, but we cannot lose this. Okay, we've got tons of TK units up here, and I am the TK unit can't Can't host. Okay, here we go. What's up? There's a lot of them down here. God, there's a lot of them. Alright, with ya. Oh shoot, they're making a play here on the top. Oh, they're making a play. We got 3 angles here. 1 down, 2 down. Okay, that's a victory. Holy smokes. Regular length break, here we go. Oh my goodness gracious. Extra short break. Welcome back. It's nice to see everybody.
Oh, all day long. All day long.
I think that is a quote from Jack Black describing a plate of nachos that he gave himself for his birthday. He had an excessive nacho situation. And he was celebrating his birthday, and he was celebrating it during the pandemic, and he showed everybody his nachos, and then proceeded, I believe, to mash the nachos into an excellent amalgam of excellence and awesomeness, if such things can be said about a nacho mash. It seemed top-notch. Really good. Really, really good.
Dynamite!
Said another way.
I laugh at death. I laugh at serious injury.
It's all true. It's all very, very true. And of course, the eternal Joe Biden.
I was swiping on Tinder the other day and saw a chick with the biggest fucking booty I've ever seen. God damn, that shit was huge. I could barely believe my eyes, man. It was actually fire, but I didn't really give a fuck. Remember to keep it real and vote for me in 2024.
This is quite surprising, considering Joe has no riz.
Joe has no riz. So why is he so like that?
The E8 diagram should be the tits Freudenthal magic square.
That's really what we're looking for. Tits Freudenthal magic square. Isn't that really the secret to it all? Tits Freudenthal magic square? I know the E8 diagram agrees. I have so many sound clips that I need to make. I have like 50. I'm probably gonna forget every context. I'm gonna do it. It's important to act fast on these things. If I had some kind of assistant, just in life, I don't know, I don't think it would be useful, but if I did have a human who I just had to tell something to do, and I could make it anything I wanted to, I'd send them all my clips, and I'd be like, hey man, clip this and set it up as a button on my thing. Nah, right there, it doesn't work. It's got to be an individual and creative art. Johnny Harris was talking about this in his production situation. He's talking about the difference between the involvement that he could have per episode. He would do about 1 per month, and it would take him so much effort to do it that he could make a certain amount of that happen. And with a team of people, he can make 1 a week, and the quality of them he was describing as his best work. And you can really tell. You can really see. It's like a master's class in DIY production, and sort of you're watching this creator go on a natural journey, a path to establishing greater awesomeness as he sees it, which is excellent. people achieving greater awesomeness. You could do worse in this world. You could do far worse. It's good art. Good art. What's up? I've been watching a ton of Next Generation Science Standards. Connected with my man Paul Anderson, Bozeman Science. And by connected, I mean I looked up his new website he has. I missed his, he had a really cool, what's the right word for it? He had a really cool Kickstarter. But I'll be interested if it goes beyond Kickstarter status and then becomes just a regular item you can purchase. But it was a method of connecting magnets together and whiteboards so that you could basically do a remote hands-on explanation of scientific concepts. He gives demonstrations of this on his website for free. He teaches these things called the Next Generation Science Standards. And he is the first person that I ever saw that had a complete set of all standards taught. Some of his videos are up to 11 years old. And they're amazing because it's science, it doesn't change. The concepts that he's explaining at these different levels, there's like six, 7 levels. Like you can be first grade, second grade. Anyway, they got it all mapped out. At this level, you should have, for this concept, at this grade level, you should have this understanding. So it's a complete map to science. If you've ever been like, hey, how's my science game? You could put yourself through a next generation science standard based educational process. You could pick up all the science that you would get from an American high school education. And quite frankly, I received an American high school science education, which was amazing. I loved my science education. They got me pumped up about all kinds of shit, which has served me well in my life. What the fuck is going on here? I'm gonna assassinate this fucking rookie. Okay, the guy had an axe to grind, dude. Where are we? Where are we? Where the freak are we? This guy has a plan. Alright, well you follow through on your dreams, your hopes and dreams. Anyway, Next Generation Science Standards. Every concept at every level detailed in a, and just a few thousand viewers. I imagine other teachers or people who really want to know these ideas. But if you had a homeschool, you could do far worse than to turn your kids onto Next Generation Science Standards, and Bozeman Science has free everything with it. And oh man, they've added so much since the pandemic. I haven't caught up with them in a couple years, but they have been doing an excellent job of enhancing with sheets, and somebody at Stanford in their educational program created some Next Generation Science Standards based quizzes, tests, worksheets, things like this. Very cool stuff to support. If you are a homeschool, this would be excellent support for a homeschool science program that was standards based, like really creme de la creme, like highest rate. That plus a nice YouTube playlist to accompany some of those standards, and a willingness for a kid who was, I don't know, I'd have to talk to 5-year-olds. If you're 5 right now and you've grown up on the internet, are you watching stuff that's like 8-year-olds should watch or 10-year-olds should watch? I'm just interested about the learning curve. Like, can you teach above? I find the most interesting channels to be channels that have facts in them. And that was my main criticism of Johnny Harris so far, is I watched his Flat Earth video, and he describes science or scientific concepts, but you don't learn any of them. And I was like, ooh, as a teacher, that was a real kick in the pants. I was like, oh man, I wanted to learn some stuff from this video. And what I learned was some historical contexts. Those were correct. Anyway, complicated video. I took away impressions of, I was looking for the scientific facts, and I took away impressions of how people felt about things, which was cool, but it was also like not scientific facts, which is super nerdy of me. I get it. Give me my hardcore facts, man. So I was looking up Veritasium. When you're looking for hardcore facts, you can go horribly wrong if you don't find Veritasium. Veritasium has their own site now, which has all of their posts, which was nice. Anyway, I think you could take a Next Generation Science Standards curriculum, as taught by Bozeman Science, and you could enhance it and package it and present it, and you could also create with a classroom, you could create new inputs, new examples of the basic concepts. So as your little ones, or whoever was learning, as they were coming up with new cool stuff, you'd have a very simple process whereby you would capture that. And that is what I am hoping to learn from Johnny Harris, is his basic method of capture and editing, and how he thinks about sequencing things, because it's really not, his stuff is artful, and it's a real beauty to watch. He stole my heart when I was going to Switzerland, and I was looking up bunkers, because I was interested in bunkers, and then somebody sent me his thing, and that's how I got turned on to him, was through his excellent Swiss bunker knowledge. This is an excellent trait to be known by. Capturing, come on, let's capture. Who's got nerd jackets down here? Contested, what's contested about this? Cap. Still cap. Oh, look at this thing. This barrel's all multicolored. It's so cool. It's got like a purple sheen to it. We're still capping here. This is called holding a door. Holding this door. No, you shall not pass. Now we're gonna come get you, because we don't have to be over there anymore. Our incentives have changed. Changing incentives, a lot to keep track of. Alright, we're just plowing through these gents. Onto a Carver there, taking a dive. Okay, here we are. We got issues inside of here. I just ran in front of them all. Took the long way to work. Separated myself from my team. This was not a great idea. Let's see what I can do with it. Got Luke's got Han Solo over here. Did I blow him to pieces? That would be an excellent victory if I did. Alright, this is decent. Oh man. Flanked. I did not get it. He's right here. Now he's gone. He was just good at hiding. Oh my god, there's so many people. But this is a great way, this is a great sight on them. Man, they're not prepared to be shot at by two sides like this. Someone's gonna get me on the side here. Maybe I intercept this impulse. And I get behind him like this. What am I behind? What am I behind? Oh, we have a ramp. There we go. I'm gonna stick to the side wall here. Keep the cover in mind. Make the sweep. Got plenty of health. I can be doing crazy shit like this. Capping. There's dynamite over there. Watch out. That was insane. This even just got whacked. Alright. I'm seeing a little show of force over here. Oh, on the right. Nice. I say to no one. I say to the universe. I say to time. Time itself. Hello, time. Well, we're winning this. We're just flat winning this. And this might be an excellent one to win on. Oh, we got Yoda. Oh, and Luke Skywalker with 4 minutes to spare. I bet we make quick work of these tortured souls. We're done. Ladies and gentlemen, it was fantastic being with you this afternoon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And, let's close this out here. Let's end with a prayer. O Holy Mother, Father God, Master Jesus and Mother Mary, bring your Spirit and your wisdom into our lives and help us to be attuned to you, to everything that you are teaching and showing us. Help every day to be an adventure with you, close to you always. Pour your light and your grace and your healing power into our lives, into the lives of our loved ones, into our homes, into our jobs, into our coworkers, into every aspect, that we might be close to you and filled with your grace and your wonder and your power and your light. In your name this is done. In the name of the Creator, the Mediators, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. I'm going to take us out on a song.